Hey guys, Mix here, and in today's video, we're going to be working on the half-scale NASCAR. It has been quite a while since I've done a video with this thing, and I'm pretty sure the last video I've done was when I was doing a cold start on the entire collection, and if you guys remember, this did not start up because of an issue that we're going to be addressing today. So if I come over to the key where I started, and turn it, literally nothing. So this thing has not been having any electrical life at all. It's almost as if the battery isn't even in there. So I'm not great at electrical at all, but I want to try and diagnose this because I want this thing back up and going, because I have some really fun videos planned for this thing. So what I want to go ahead and do in this video is go through the electrical, starting off with the battery, just because it seems almost as if there's no voltage. So I can break out my multimeter, test the voltage on that thing. I remember last time I did this, when I put the battery charger onto it, it cranked right up pretty much. So, I mean, the battery could have went bad just from the cold air and stuff, but I don't think it should go bad that quick because it's fairly new. And it hasn't been that cold yet. But what I want to go ahead and do first is pop off the body quick from the frame. All I got to do is pop off all these Zeus's around the entire body, and then it'll be off. This is the next day, by the way, because when I was doing the intro, it just ended up just getting dark out because it gets dark at like 4:30 now. Alrighty guys, so the body is now off. It has been a pretty long time since I've seen it like this, and I kind of miss how it looks like this. I think it looks pretty sweet. And it is actually the next day again. That is because the temperatures just dropped yesterday like to super cold, and I just could not work in it. So we're back here the next day. It's a little bit warmer, and hopefully we can figure out this electrical issue. So now that the body is off, we have full access to the wiring way better. And what I want to go ahead and do first is bust out the multimeter, like I said earlier, and test the voltage on the battery. I mean, this all could be just a dead battery issue. I don't think it is, just because how there's absolutely like no life at all from anything. But let's just see what the battery's at. Negative on negative and positive on positive. Alrighty guys, so when I went to go test the voltage, this multimeter has been great to me for like a year or 2 years since I've had it, but it's acting up. It's acting all weird. So what I'm gonna do, since I can't get a good reading from that multimeter, is pop the battery off and put it on the battery charger, because that'll tell me if it has a charge or not. And while I'm at it, I do want to go ahead and clean the terminals, because they do look a little bit corroded, and that could honestly be our issue. Alrighty, so the battery is out, and all the acid levels look like that they're still in the good area, which is good. It didn't go down or anything. So what I'm going to do now is hook up the charger and see, I guess, what the charge is. So the battery is in fact charging, so I'm just going to let it sit and I guess wait for it to charge up until it's all good to go. I don't want to go ahead and mess around with all the electrical and all the wiring and everything until I know that we have a battery that has full voltage and is ready to go back into this. Because like I said earlier, I'm not that great with electrical, so I'm just gonna wait on that battery. And I was just looking over everything before, just seeing if there's anything unplugged, and everything's all there and all mounted down. So I'll catch you guys back once the battery is on green. So guys, it is about like 2.5 hours later from the last clip. The battery is not done yet, but the sun is beginning to go down. So what I want to go ahead is take it off the charger. I'm sure it has plenty of enough charge to just test and see if that was the issue, or if I'm just wasting time, you know, charging and there's like an electrical problem here. But I did just go ahead and stand on some of the connectors and grounds with this, just to make them a little bit cleaner. And then I'm probably gonna do the same with the terminals on the battery once I take it off. So I just went ahead and cleaned up the connectors a little bit. It definitely looks way better than how it did before. Before it had all like white crust and everything on it. But I'm going to go ahead, screw back on the connectors. I'm not going to go ahead and strap it down just because I want to test it. But I guess we'll just see what happens. So both connectors are back on and tightened down. So now I'm just going to go ahead and test it. I doubt it's going to work, but let's just see. Yeah, no. Nothing. So this is not good at all. I really am not sure where to go from here, just because I don't know electrical that well. But I mean, everything is all plugged in. It's almost as if that there's like a fuse or something blown. It could be even up here, but I can't seem to find like any type of fuse or anything on this, unless it's internal in the actual ignition itself, which it could be. But what I want to do real quick is put a screwdriver between the starter solenoid on the positive and negative and see if we can get a spark in it to crank over. Nothing. So that did not work, but I did just come over, and when I turned on the key, the light on the top of the tachometer is on, and usually it shines way brighter than that. And when I turn the key to start it, it turns off. So it is drawing power from here, but it's not cranking or clicking or doing anything. So I guess that's a good sign. I mean, it could be a super weak battery. That could be why the light's not shining as bright as it usually does, and it won't even try to crank it over. So that could be a valid issue. So what I'm gonna try right now is, if we come over here to my quad, which I just started up real quick, I'm gonna rob the battery off of this because it is pretty much the same exact one as the one on the NASCAR. I'm just running it right now just so the charge can go all the way up on it. But once I let this run for a little bit and get the battery back up to full voltage, I'm gonna take this one out, put it in the NASCAR, and see if that fixes the problem. If it doesn't fix it, then our problem will be narrowed down to a definite electrical issue. This one I know is a great battery, and the other one I'm not too sure about. So this battery's the same voltage and amps and everything like that, but the terminals are swapped on this one, so I just gotta put the battery in backwards. So the quad's battery is all rigged up, and let's see if this works. I really hope it does. Let's just see how the light looks, and oh, way brighter. Let's see. Dang it. Let's see if it does go down. So this means it's an electrical issue, which is a bummer. I'm gonna go ahead and put the NASCAR's original battery back onto the charger, and hopefully it'll fully charge from there just because it wasn't done yet. But in the meantime, I'm just gonna use the quad's battery to just test everything until the other one's all good to go. Back on the charger it goes. Now that we have a better battery on there, I wanna go ahead and test the solenoid just one more time because the other one was super weak. All right, let's see. Oh God. All right, we got a spark this time, that's good. Oh, it scares me so much, but it works. All right, so that works. That is good. Now I can eliminate the solenoid and the starter from the issue because I know that those are working now. So our problem's got to be from here to the ignition. So as I was just messing around with it, when I hold down the circuit breaker and then try and start it, I get some life from the back of here. So check this out. All right, so circuit breaker is held down right now. And when I start it, there it goes. And now when I try and start without touching the circuit breaker, okay, it's working now. I guess that's good. But it still seems as if that there's not enough voltage. I mean, this battery should have a full charge. I just ran on the quad for quite a while, and it is the same battery, volts and amp wise. Even though the terminals are swapped around, it's still the same battery. But it is working now, which is good. So all I guess I need to do right now is wait for the battery to fully charge, then it might be good. I'm thinking it will be good because this just sounds like a dead battery now. So now what I'm gonna do, take off this battery, put it back into the quad, then wait for the original and the correct battery for this thing to charge up. When I put it back into the quad, I can test to see if it's dead on the quad too, because then that battery might need to be charged. It is pretty cold out here, so that could be a reason why. I got super worried for a little while when I put on the new battery and it wasn't working because I just do not want electrical issues on this. I just finished putting back on the battery on the quad, so now I just want to see if the battery was actually dead. And it still kind of had some life. Maybe not. So I guess that battery was a little bit low and just didn't have enough juice to fully keep the NASCAR turning over.
The next day.
So guys, we're back here the next day once again, and I let the battery charge overnight and it should be good to go. I just hooked up the connectors and now I want to go ahead and try this out once again. Let's check the light. The light is on. Nothing. What the heck? So I'm going to go ahead and try the circuit breaker once again because this is weird. The battery should have full charge, so I'm just going to go ahead and try that again. Alright, circuit breaker is pushed down. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this battery is just toast because the light on the tachometer is going completely off when I try and start it. So I'm going to go ahead, take this battery off once again, take the battery on the quad, charge it up fully from the battery charger, not just the quad, wait for that to charge, and then test the quad battery on this once again, and then I guess we will see what will happen. Alrighty guys, so the battery is all done. So now I'm going to go put it back into the NASCAR, and then hopefully it'll work. Alright, so the battery's all hooked up. Now let's see if this works. Still nothing. Alright guys, so usually I try and end the video on a good note, but this just is not making sense. It's not cranking over. It still seems like the battery is like dead. So it might just be too cold out here. Or there could be another issue, which, I mean, the battery was full. On the quad it works, so I'm not sure. I just tried the starter solenoid trick again, and it did crank over, but like extremely slow, so that still seems like a low voltage thing. But I'm gonna bring it to you guys. Comment down below on what you guys think the problem is. If you guys think I should just get a new battery, or if you think it might be the starter or an electrical wire or something, so comment that down below. But yesterday when it worked with the circuit breaker, my hypothesis was that I did jumpstart this like last month right before I started to have this issue. So I'm thinking that when I jump started it, it was way too much for the electrical harness in this to handle, and it like popped the breaker or whatever. The circuit breaker kind of acts as a breaker box, and when I did it yesterday, it worked. So that's just my hypothesis, but comment down below what you guys think. So although we couldn't get it to work in this video, next video with some of you guys' help, because I know that a lot of you guys know a lot of electrical and just a lot about this stuff. So next video we're going to try and fix this and get it back up and running. But I'm really happy at least that I got it to crank, because I just have not heard this thing make any noise in so long. But anyway guys, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like, comment, tell your friends about the channel.